to tonight's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Melrose Mindoro Mustangs. As the 3-0 perfect conference record Lancers take on the 1-1 Mustangs. Lancers 6-7 on the year, with the Mustangs being 4-9. Quick round check before we begin, and it'll be the Mustangs to start off the serving with number 13, Buchanan. Received by Radical. Steps on across for Koenig, center to the back, touched back, and into the bleachers as the Lancers go up early 1-0. Leduc back to serve for the Lancers. Set back up from that center. She's going to touch it over. Thompson is there. Starling across for Radical. To the back line. Diving save. Gets it back up. Near side and over the net. Starling there once again. Once again for Radical. Nails one down. Right down the line. Lancers go up 2-0 early.
Well spent money, Dad. Well spent money. Good job.
Receive center. Set back off the net. Steps up to get it. Sliding save by Gurgle. Back across for Radical again. Diving save off her hands on the play. That's Demon as the Lancers go up 3-0. Back received by the libero. Radcliffe set up center on the run. He's going to touch it over. And that one drops down on the sideline. Radical couldn't quite get up in time. Gurgle on the run couldn't make it there in time. The Mustangs bring it within 2, 3-1. And it'll be Radcliffe now back to serve. Receive center by Starling. Thompson someone across for Radical. Blocked with the net. Radical right there. Once again for Radical. That one gets home! Off the hands of Radcliffe on the play. Lancers up 3. And it'll be Thompson back once again for the Lancers. Received center by Radcliffe. Sent back up on the run. Cross court. Radical there. Thompson back up for Radical again. A good touch and she'll drop on another. 5-1 and the Lancers go up 4. And it's Thompson once again. Into the net. And the lead cut down to 3. And it'll be Rosick back to serve. Received by Gurgle. Thompson someone up. Koenig on the run will bump it over. Just out of play on the back line. By 3, the Mustangs now within 2. And it'll be Rosick back to serve once again. Received by Leduc. Thompson someone across for Radical on the run. Touch at the net and drops down. He brings them up now by 3. Bartles and Quaid in for Koenig and Gurgle. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Line out of play, going to go right back to the Mustangs. Once again within 2. And now Heimdall back to serve.
Stay back on the bench.
Off the top of the net, going to go right back to the Lancers as they go up by 3. Radical back to serve for the Lancers. Thompson up middle. Gonna set one back off the net. Down the line, received by Bartles. Close to the net. Tipped right up and over. Back up across. To the back. Saved by Radical on the run. Back up for Leduc. Tipped to the net. Sliding save. And that one gonna get out of play onto the Lancers side. 8-4. The Lancers up 4.
No USA.
Back line, back up center, hesitates, and now she's going to have to touch it over. Thompson back off the net for Leduc. To the back and sent high. All the way across for Bates. Bartles right there. Thompson going to set one back to the net again. But foot went under the net. As the Mustangs bring it back within 3. Back received by Starling. Thompson someone across the Radical back row. Well, that was sent right back to the Lancers side. This time we'll go for Leduc. And into the net as the lead cut down to 2, 8-6. And it's Bates back to serve once again. Received center by Radical. Across the loop. Block his net back to the length of the side. Gets it back in the air. Bartles is there. Up for Starlin. Tipped at the net. Diving save and out of play. Lancers go up by 3, 9-6. With Radcliffe entering. And now Starlin back to serve. Received center by Radcliffe. Bump back Rowe. Off the net, sent back high by Thompson. Across to Starlin, tipped back on the net by the Mustangs. Starlin gets it back over. A sliding save by Fast, can't get it back in the air. Lancers go 4, 10-6. And Starlin back now for Lancers. To the back, was it touched? They're going to say it was. It's off the hands of Radcliffe. As Starlin knocks down an ace and the Lancers go up 5. Radcliffe misjudges, goes from a bump to a set, off for Haynes on a play once again, as Starlin knocks down another ace, and the Lancers up 6, 12-6 and a timeout by the Mustangs. Back to the timeout, 12-6, the Lancers up 6 with Starlin still serving here in the first set. Radcliffe on the dive, can't get it back in the air, another ace for Starlin as the Lancers go up now by 7. Deep to the back, drops down on the back line, another ace for Starlin. Now up by 8. Starlin now with 4. As the Lancers trying to pull ahead here toward the middle of the first set. Finally, Rosa will step up to get it. Set back far side, sent back high by Quaid. Across with Thompson. Shooting back by Rosick, set back across, touches the net, diving to the Radical. Can't get it back in the air as the Mustangs bring it back within 7. And now Zeman back to serve. Cross up down the line, out of play. Gonna go right back to the Lancers. Up by 8, 15-7. Gurgle enters in for Quaid, and it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Back up on the back corner, set back across, gonna fade away to get it. Is Rozek. Back lanes side over for Thompson, good touch. Steps back, it's a hand on it. Back up in the air for her, off the net. And they're gonna say it went off the pole and called out of play as the Lancers go up by 9, 16-7. Off the net, drops down. Lancers go up 10, up an ace from Gurgle, 17-7. Sent high, gonna send him back up into play and touched over by Rosick. Starlin across for Thompson on the run. Have to touch it over. Running save by Heimdall. Back across for Fast. Radical right there once again. Back up for Thompson again. Another good touch. This time cannot be saved. On a lift from Fast. This will go up 11, 18-7. And it'll be Larson entering in for Bartles. And Gurgle will continue to serve. This time into the nets as the lead cut back down to 10. 21-13, Tracy and Buchanan enter in for 6 and 2. Heimdall and Bradley. As it'll be number 13, Buchanan back to serve. Spot dug up by Radical. Sets one across for Thompson. Tipped at the net and drops it down. Lancers get it right back. Up by 11, 19-8. And now Luke back to serve, looking for the 20s. Received by Radicals. Going to set one up on the run. Good touch over the net. Radicals there. And they're going to say Mustangs in the nets. As the Lancers get the 20s up by 12. Receive center close to the net. Sent right back down by Radical. 21-8. The Lancers up 13. As it'll be Seibel entering in for Gurgle. Line received by Radcliffe. Sets one back center. Going to step back to get it. That's Rozek. Thompson across for Radical. Blocked at the net. Trying to get it back in the air. Can't do it. That was Leduc reaching back. As the Mustangs bring it within 12. And into the net by Radcliffe. Lancers get it right back, up by now 13. And it'll be Kazemba in for Leduc. And Thompson back to serve. Lancers just 3 points away from taking the first set. Received center by Radcliffe. Sets one back on the run, cross court onto the back line. Beautiful spot from Rozek. As the Lancer lead cut down to 12. And it'll be Pfaff back to serve once again. Sorry, Rozek. Received by Starlin, racing back to get it is Thompson. Larson on the rung and a bump it to the back. Radcliffe is there. Come back up. Baines. Tip back high by Thompson. Set across for Radical. Tipped at the net and saved by Baines. The back center. Good touch over the net. Starlin mishit it. Under the net. And the Mustangs now within 11. 22-11. Offense is Seibel. Zemba sends one back into play. Radical on the run. Gonna bump it up and over. One hand back up in the air. Radical will send it to the line. Received by Seibel. Miscommunication by Radical and Thompson. As that one drops down and brings the game within 10. Seibel gonna let it go and it drops down on the back line. Thanks for the Mustangs, and they're now within 9. Receiving back by Seibel. Thompson across for Larson. Good spot, sliding save by Radcliffe. Sent back across for Baines on the run. Tipped the net, sliding save by Seibel. Thompson back, Radical feeding away, gonna get it over. Set back center. Blocked at the net. Back up high from Radcliffe. Across the run for Bates, fading away. That one out of play. Untouched by the Lancers. As they're now just 2 points away with a 10-point lead. Wade and Bartles in for Seibel and Larson. And it'll be Bartles back to serve. Close to the neck, and sends one back. And now gonna get it over. Bartles is there. Thompson on the run, gonna get one back up for Radical. Good touch. Sent back. Radical will send it way to the back. And it's gonna send it over. Big chance for the Lancers here. Thompson for Radical. She'll finish one off the hands of Bates and on a play. 24-13, Lancers just 1 point away here in the first set. And it'll be Bartles back to do it. Back by Rosek, gonna set one up on the run. Good touch over the net. Thompson's there. Starlin fakes off the net. Launching save, set one back for Bates. Tipped at the net, Radical there. Thompson back up for Quaid. Skipping along the net. Diving save by Radcliffe. Back across, and he's gonna pump it into the net. And they can't recover. Lancers take the first set. 25-13 by 12. We'll be back for the second set in about 3 minutes. And we are back for the second set. Lancers winning the first one 25-13 by 12. They will start off the serving here in the second set with Leduc. Set one all the way across for Rosick. Good touch over the net. Starlin is there. Thompson, good fake. Send back to Lancers side. Koenig back in the air. Across for Radical. With the net. Sliding save by Radcliffe on the run. Back up in the air. Deep shot over, and they're going to get it. Back up by Leduc. This time for Koenig to the back. Oh, and mishandled by Heimdall. straight at her, tried to set it up, ended up almost catching it. As the Lancers take a 1-0 lead early. The back tipped up high by Radcliffe. Back across for Rosek. Kurgel gets underneath it, but can't get it back in the air. As the Mustangs tied up at 1. And send Buchanan back to serve. With Tracy entering in. The back received by Starlin. Thompson across for Radical. Good spot down the line. As the Lancers go up by 1, 2-1. And now Thompson back to serve for the Lancers. Receive center. Sets one up center. Offensive Kurgel back to the Mustang side. Fading away to get in. Blocked as net by Koenig. Lancers back up by 2, 3-1 as Thompson heads back once again. Kind of back from Zeman. On the rung and a touch it over. Lunging save by Thompson. Starlin back across center for Koenig. Blocked with the net. Radical hits it back in the air. No one to get it. As everyone retreated back to their positions, no one was there for the second hit. As the Mustangs bring it back within 1, 3-2. With Bain centering in and Radcliffe back to serve. Tip tied by Starlin. Leduc on the run. Kurgel getting it over in a good spot as well. Koenig bumps it back. Thompson back up for Koenig on a standstill. Received cleanly. Radcliffe will bump one across. And just touched over that. Radical's there. Thompson back up for Radical. Offensive Radcliffe out of play. And the Lancers go right back up. And Bartles and Quaid gonna both enter in with Bartles heading back to serve. Lancers up 2, 4-2. Center by Radcliffe. Close to the neck and set one back off it. Cross court, received by Bartles. Thompson back across for Radical again. Good spot off the hands of Bates. As Radical next and another. And the Lancers go up by 3. Into that from Bartles. The Mustangs get it back within 2, 5-3. With Rosek heading back to serve. Dug up by Radical. Thompson close to the net. Sent right back. Thompson tried to send it back to the Lancers side. Rosek had different plans as she sent it right back onto the Lancers side, bringing this game within 1, 5-4. Offensive Bartles. Radical on the rung and send it back up. And Thompson will bump it over. Received by Rosek. Sent across for Bates. Along the net line. Out of play. Off the hands of Quaid. Ties the game up at 5, and now our chance to the lead is Rosek. Received by Radical. Thompson up for Radical on the run. Off the net. 4 for the Lancers, and they go down 6-5. The back sent high by Bartles. Radical will set it up for Quaid. Good touch to the back. Radcliffe is there. Back up center. Blocked in the net by Radical. Ties the game up at 6. And Radical, who got that block, will now head back to serve, trying to give her team another lead. Game tied at 6. Receive center close to the Lancer side. Luke gonna send it right back. Tipped right back to the Lancer side. Quaid in the air. Starlin, good touch over the net. Diving sleeve, taking it back up. As the Lancers go up 7-6. That's for the back. Baines will step up to get it close to the net. Tipped back and off the net. And no one there to get it for the Mustangs. 8-6. Lancers go up 2. Wilson out of play. An ace for Radical, and the Lancers go up 3, 9-6. Back, touched high by Radcliffe on the run, going to send one back. Center for Bates, and this hits it into the net. Lancers hit double digits, now up by 4. And a timeout by the Mustangs. 10-6, a 4-point Lancer lead here in the second set. Lancer with a 1-0 lead. Timeout, 10-6, a 4-point Lancer lead after winning the first set. Radical back to serve for the Lancers once again. As this one sent up for Bates. That one going out of play off the hands of Tracy. Lancers go up 5, 11-6. Good spot Lancers from Radcliffe, sent back up into play. And touched over by Radcliffe. Bartles is there. Thompson sets one back up for net for Quinn to the back and out of play. As the Mustangs bring it back within 4. And now Heimdall back to serve for the Mustangs. Received by Radical. Thompson back across for Leduc. Took it to net. Diving save and gonna bump it over. Received by Radical. Set this time for Quaid. Blocked at the net. Tipped back high and out of play. Heimdall back once again. Now within 3, 11-8. Received by Radical. Miscommunication. Bartles gets it back up. Off the net and can't be saved by Starland. As the game dropped back within 2. The back received by Bartles. Thompson the run, going to set one back up for Leduc. The back, tip tied by Radcliffe on the run. Back across to Bates to the back and just on the line. Radical let it go and dropped down just before as the Mustangs bring it back within 1. Heimdall now back with a chance to tie it up. Offensive Bartles out of play. And he's for Heimdall, the game tied at 11. Bartles tipped back high by Thompson. Luke on the run, blocked at the net, out of play. As the Lancers maintain a 1-point lead, 12-11. Now Starlin back to serve. Running save, took back, straight up, nowhere to get it. As it goes down as an ace off the hands of Rozek. Lancers now up 2 with Starlin back once again. One-handed back of the net. Starling going to send one back across for Thompson. She'll bump it over. Save and set up center. To the back, Radical there once again. Starling across, this time for Thompson. To the back line, Radcliffe sends one back up. From back row is Rosek. Bartle saves it, now back across for Thompson again. Until knocked comes down. Dug up multiple times by both teams. Lansing finishing it off the hands of Thompson. As Starlin now back with a 3-point lead, 14-11. The back, touched high. Sent back up by Rozak, will just be bumped over. Received by Bartles. Starlin will set one up, this time for Leduc center. She'll finish one off the hands of Bates. And Leinster is now up by 4, 15-11. There's Starlin back once again. The back, that one goes long. Gives it back to the Mustangs, now within 3. Bates now back to serve for the Mustangs. Johnson back for the Duke to the back line, out of play, untouched for the Mustangs as they bring it back within 2, 15-13. On the line, received by Leduc. Radical will send one up for Thompson on the run. Good touch. Tip back high, back across on the run for Bradley. Into the hands of Quaid. Set up for Thompson. To the back line, sent by off the ceiling. Tip back toward the nets and off the ref's chair. The Lancers going back up by 3, 16-13. Gurgle in for Quaid, and it'll be Gurgle back to serve. Off the top of the net and right back. Giving it right back to the Mustangs, back within 2. We're back into the hands of Radical. Starlin will set one up center for Bartles on the run. Good touch. Running saved by Radcliffe, goes to the neck and a bump one back off it. And touched over by Bradley to the back corner. Radical on the run. Bartles sends one up for Thompson. And into the net. As Thompson sent it short. With the lead back down to 1. Zeman back for the Mustangs. Received by Radical. Starlin sends one up for Thompson again. This time it gets over awry off the hands of Zeman. Sent back long, ready to go with it. Can they get it over? Received by Bartles. Starlin back to Luke, fading away. Back corner. Get back close to the net. Right back over. No answers there. As the Mustangs once again tie it up at 16. Come on. And now Zeman back with a chance to give him a lead. Into the net. And we go right back to the Lancers, who maintain a 1-point lead. 17-16, Leduc back to serve. Painting back in for Bartles as well. The back received by Radcliffe. Set back center. Good touch from that. Thompson is there. Caney tries cut back and get it, and will. Just going to bump it over. Set back row. And over the net, received by Starlin. Thompson, good fake into that diving save. Radical sends it right back. Couple of beautiful plays from Thompson and Radical. Right there to get it as the Lancers go up by 2. Received by Radcliffe in the back. And set one back up on the run for Bradley. Leduc can't turn back in time. Caught leaning to the left. As the Mustangs bring it right back within 1 with 21-13. Tracy and Buchanan entering back in. And Buchanan heading back to serve.
Yeah.
The back received by Radical. Thompson up for Radical on the run. Off the hands and into the wall. That was Radcliffe on a dive. As the Lancers go up by 2, 19-17. Set up center. Good touch with the net. Girdle on a run. Tipped back high by Koenig, but that was the third hit. Can't quite get it over as the Mustangs bring it back within one, 19-18. Bates now entering in for Stello. With Radcliffe back to serve. The back received by Gurgle. Thompson set one up for Radical again on the run. Off the hands and under the net. Radical finishes off another as the Lancers hit the 20s up by 2. Bartles and Quaid in for Gurgle and Koenig, and it's Bartles back to serve. Sliding save from Radcliffe, and they set one back on the run. Good touch to the back, Bartles is there. Thompson back up for Radical again. Send right back to the Lancers side. Now back up this time for Radical again, she'll just bump it though. Back up across, fading away is Bates. Received by Bartles. Thompson up for Radical. That one will drop down into the hands of Bates. A 3-point Lancer lead, 21-18. And the final timeout called by the Mustangs. 21-18 here in the second set. Lancers up 3, trying to take a commanding lead here in this game. Back from the timeout, 21-18, a 3-point Lancer lead after winning the first set 25-13. As it'll be Bartles back to serve, just 4 points away from taking the second set. Sliding save from Radcliffe. Set back on the run. Rozek off the net with the cut for the Lancers. Yes, it was. As they bring it back within 2, 21-19, with Rozek back to serve.
Let it go.
To the back, Bartles going to tip one back up. Radical on the run up for Quaid. On the couple of hands and on the play. Bates and Rozek collided. The Lancers get it right back. With the scoreboard shutting off. The score is 22-19. Lancers are up 3 as they will try to get that situated. And it's back up. Score's wrong, should be 22-19. They will fix that in a moment. And we are now good to go. Radical will serve for the Lancers. Straight center. Set back on the run for Zeman. Just going to touch it over. Starting back across for Leduc. To the back, sent high by Radcliffe. Back across for Zeman off the hands of Radical. Thompson back up for Leduc again. To the back, drops it down in the back line. Lancers just 2 points away, up by 4. And it's Radical once again. This is by Radcliffe. Comes one back row for Rozek. Back up now for Quaid. Too far out of play. One to touch. They're not going to get it. Oh, now she says there is. Almost needs the call. Line judge says it was Stutz. They're going to go with that call as the Lancers go up by 5 and are now just 1 point away. A 5-point Lancer lead. Radical back to take the second set. Back to the Lancer side. Thompson's there. Got a clean set here. Up for Quaid. Into the net. And the Mustangs going to get one last chance. Need 4 straight to keep it going. 24-20. 6-2, Heimdall and Bradley will enter in, with Heimdall heading back to serve. To the back, received by Radical. Thompson sets it up for Luke. Touch the net. Received by Rozek and cannot be saved by Heimdall. That's some miscommunication will end it 25-20 here in the second set. But the Lancers now just one set away from taking the game and improving to 4-0 in conference play. Are back for the third set. Lancers taking the first two, 25-13. No, 25-12. Going on 25-20 as they look to end it here in 3 sets. Got a chat from William saying W. Certainly hope to finish this one off. As lead number 13, Buchanan, back to serve. Dug up by Radical. Starlin will touch one over. Saved and set back off the net. Diving save from Radicals again. This time set up for Thompson. Radical gets it back up. Sent back, fading away. And back to the Lancer side. Back up for Thompson again. Got another diving save by Rozek. Back and over the net once again, this time for Starland. Up for Koenig. Tipped out of play by Radcliffe. And the Lancers go up one. And now Luke back to serve for the Lancers. Off the net, tipped back high, sent back into play, and touched over. Gurgle is there, back up for Radical. Tip of the net, lunging save. Gonna set one back on the run and bump it over. Received by Gurgle. Thompson across for Radical again. This will be finished off the hands of Radcliffe. And now a 2-0 Lancer lead. As the ball went off out of play, we'll go ahead and just get a new one. And now we have 2. And then there was 1. On the line, dug up by Radcliffe. Set up center on the run, into the net. And the Lancers go up by 3. Straight center for Rosek, set back, row for Zeman, touches the net, Luke back in the air, Thompson back as well, and Starling moving it over. Sign save from Radcliffe, trying to touch it back up the net, it can't be saved. Good effort from the Lancers on this side, as the Mustangs can't get it back over. And the Lancers take a 4-0 lead. Lunging save, tipped back and into the net. Lancers go up 5-0 early. And a very early timeout from the Mustangs here in the third set. Back from the timeout, Lancers with a 5-0 lead early, with Luke still serving for the Lancers on a 5-0 run. Back, save center. Back row. Just off top of the net, diving save, but Luke can't get it back in the air. As the Mustangs off the timeout break the run and bring themselves back within 4, as Banks will enter in for Fab. And it'll be Radcliffe back to serve. Into the hands of Radical. Set up for Radical. And Radical most likely in the net, and yes he was. Got a little bit too close, probably should have just touched it over. As the lead cut down to 3. Dug up by Starlin, set across for Radical on the run. Stays on her side, this time blocked! And drop it down on the sideline. As the Mustangs bring it back within 2, now on a 3-0 run of their own. Lofts over, received by Starland. Thompson will set one up for Radical. And into the net, 5-4. As the Lancer lead cut down to 1. By Starlin. Thompson set one up center for Koenig. Blocked to the net, but down to the Mustang side. As the Lancers maintain a 2-point lead, 6-4. Schaller in for Starland, and it'll be Thompson back to serve. Back, lunging save from Radcliffe. Puts one back, good touch over the net, received by Gurgle. Schaller sets one across for Radical. Dug up by Radcliffe. Touchback over the net. Leduc leading the wrong way and can't bring it back. As the lead cut right back down to 1, 6-5. Chance to tie for Zeman. Thompson across for Radical. Good spot. Tipped right back by Zeman, but into the net by Tracy. Ends up going down as a lift as Bartles and Quaid in for Gurgle and Kanan. And Bartles will head back to serve. And now Bartles back to serve. Good spot, sliding save, gonna set one back row for Radcliffe. The back high by Bartles. Oh, nicks the ceiling, Thompson has to readjust. Quaid on the run, will just bump it over. Set back quickly, center, blocked at the net. Tipped back in the air by Bates. Back over for Bates. And Lance is in the net. As the lead cut right back down to 1. And it'll be Heimdall entering in to serve. Back, received by Bartles. Thompson up quickly for Radical. Good touch, no one there. For Radical in the net. And now the game ties up at 7. Lynch has been on that a lot this set. Not so much a problem in the last few. As now Heimdall with a chance to give him a lead. Received by Leduc. Thompson across for Quaid. Off the net was a touch. They're going to say it was not. That's 4 hits. And the Mustangs take a 1-point lead, 8-7. Offense, Leduc out of play. Innings for the Mustangs, and they go up by 2, 9-7. Dug up by Bartles. Luke will send one up for Thompson. They'll just bump it over. Set up quickly, center for Zeman. Good spot. Dug up by Quaid. Thompson back across for Quaid. On the back line, received by Rozek. Back up for Bates. And into the net. Lions will bring it back within 1, 9-8. And now Radical back to serve. Back line, Rozek is there. Gonna set one quickly. Center for Bradley. Blocked to the net. Saved by Radcliffe. Back up on the run. She's gonna bump it over. Chance for the Lancers here. Sets it up center for Quaid. Sliding save. Back in from Bradley and touched over once again. Lucas there. Set back for Schaller. Diving save to back up the net and bumped over by Bradley once again. Radical on the run. Thompson back up. Quaid again. Good touch. Saved by Bradley. Back up for her. Down the line, Radical there once again. Thompson up for Leduc. Tipped to the net, diving save from Radcliffe. Touch back over and Radical there once again. Back up for Leduc again. Tipped to the net, diving save from Bates. Tipped back high by Leduc. Thompson back for Schaller on the run. Radcliffe back into play and bumped over by Bradley. Radical on the retreat. Thompson back up. Luke again. Touchdown at play. And the Lutheran finish it off and tie it up at 9. And off the nets, going right back to the Mustangs as they go up by 1. Radcliffe enters in for Pfaff. Sorry, Pfaff enters in for Radcliffe. And it'll be Bates back to serve. Off the hands of Bartles. Thompson will set one up center for Quaid. Tipped at the net, sent back high by Heimdall. Back across for Bradley, and into the hands of Radical. All the way across for Leduc. Blocked at the net, into the net, saved off the net, tipped back up, and bumped over by Bradley again. Radical there. Thompson across. Leduc. Down the line, tipped back high by Rozak. And Bradley will bump it over once again. Radical there. Thompson up for Luke again. Dug up, tipped back. Fading way to get it. And right to the hands of Radical. This time for Quaid. Tipped it out of play. Lancers once again a long volley and eventually get it down. Tying up the game at 10. Starlin back in for Schaller. And it'll be Starlin back to serve, trying to give the Lancers a lead. Game tied at 10 with a 2-0 set Lancer lead. Good spot, offers shoulder out of play. Another ace for Starlin, and the Lancers go up by 1. Sliding save by Radcliffe, back over to outline and out of play. Trying to go cross courts into the foot too long as the Lancers now with a 2-point lead, 12-10. Pushing to the back and a set one up center for Bradley to the back, received by Radical. Starlin back up for Thompson. Good spot, it drops it down. Under the hands of a diving Radcliffe. As the Lancers go up 3, 13-10. Starlin high to the back, touchdown a play off the hands of Rozak. Another ace for Starlin. And the Lancers now up 4. Down the line and out of play. As the run will end, Lancers maintain a 3-point lead, 14-11. As it'll be Zeman back to serve. To the back, received by Leduc. Strong on the run, back up for Thompson, tipped at the net, diving from Radcliffe on the play. Lancers get it right back up 4. Girdle in for Quaid, and it'll be Girdle back to serve. And into the net, as the lead is cut down to 3. Back to serve will be Buchanan. Dug up by Radical. Set across for Thompson. Still knock one down off the hands of Radcliffe. Couldn't quite get down in time. The Lancers go right back up by 4 with Koenig entering in for Bartles. Luke back to serve for the Lancers. Right at Radcliffe. Set up center for Rozak. Tipped high by Radical. Thompson back up for Radical. And line drive. Touched over but out of play. The Lancers up 5, 17-12. Straight center close to the net. Tipped right back. Back over the net, sliding save by Starlin. Thompson across Radical again. Hammers out the face of Radcliffe and out of play. 18-12, a 6-point lead as Larson will enter in for Koenig. And the final timeout by the Mustangs, 18-12, down 6. With the Lancers just 1 set away from taking the game. Timeout, 18-12. The Lancers up 6 along with a 2-9 set lead. 7 points away from taking this set and the game. Good spot from LeDuc, running save. Set back, blocked on a play by Radical. As the Mustangs get it back within 5. Baines will enter in. And it'll be Radcliffe back to serve. Loss of the net, received by LeDuc, no one there to get it. As an ace for the Mustangs, brings them within 4.
When she was back there,
Good spot, jumps down in front of LeDuc for back-to-back aces as they're now within 3. Received cleanly by LeDuc. And off into the net. Thompson couldn't catch underneath it. As now 3 straight aces. Puts it in 2, and the Lancers call timeout. Back from the Lancers timeout. Lead cut down to 2, 18-16. As it'll be Radcliffe back to serve. Riding 3 straight aces. Received by LeDuc. Thompson someone up for Radical. And she'll end the run. Once again, into the hands of Radcliffe. As the Lancers go up 3, 19-16. Schaller in for Starland. And it'll be Thompson back to serve. Lost 1-2 Radcliffe, close to the net, goes off the net, saved off the net, and sent over. Radical backtracks to get it. Set back for Schaller. Touches the net, saved by Radcliffe. Set back up on the run for Baines, blocked at the net. Oh, Larson. 20-16, Lancers up 4, now just 5 points away. Thompson still serving. On the line, close to the net, can be saved off him again, just tipped over, Radical's there. Thompson back for Radical. Blocked at the net, tipped on the Lancers side. Larson back up, again for Radical. That one gonna drop down. Lancers up 5, 21-16. Save, close to the line, tipped back over by Radical, right back to the Lancers side once again. Gurgle back up for Radical, good touch, diving save, sent up on the run, and a touch to the back. Lucas there, Thompson across for Radical. She'll finish off another, right down the line, and the Lancers go up by 6. Sidewalk other end for LeDuc. Back corner, received by Zeman. Set back on the run. Cross court, received by Thompson off the ceiling. Schuller's there, up for Radical. Tipped out of play. And regardless, the Mustangs in the net. 23-16, the Lancers just 2 points away. Zumba will enter in for Gurgle. And it'll be Thompson back to serve. Needs just 2 more. See by Zeman close to the net, touched back and punched into the net. Lancers 1 point away, 24-16. Trying to finish this one off in 3 sets. Thompson the serve. Straight at Radcliffe. Set back. Cross court off hands of Thompson. And out of the building. as the Mustangs going to get one last chance. 24-17. A 7-point lead for the Lancers. They need 7 straight. Back to do it for the Mustangs. Will be Zeman. Good spot, dug up by Radical. Set up for Radical. Blocked and drills it down the back. No one back there to get it as the Mustangs now within 6. Received by Radical. Set up for Radical again. Dug up by Radcliffe. Touched over the net. Thompson is there. Schuller all the way across for Larson. Good touch, blocked immediately. Back up for Radical again. Into the net. 24-19, back to a 5-point game. Mustangs looking for the 20s. Right at Seibel. Thompson up. Is this the one for Radical? Received by Radcliffe. Set up center. Tossed over that. Kazemba can't get underneath. And now 24-20, your new score. We're back, received by Seibel. Thompson all the way across for Radical. Blocked into the net. And that'll do it. 25-12, 25-20, and 25-20. Lancers win it in 3 sets and improve to 7-7 on the year and 4-0 in conference play. They will take on AC Lincoln on Thursday, trying to get back to an overall winning record and get halfway to another perfect conference record season. Away at AC Lincoln on Thursday. Final score of this one, 3-9. Lancers 7-7 on the year.